Are these Jehovah's Witness men out here wilding? Are they out here in the streets with their slutty tight pants? You're willing to admit that these same whirly problems are happening within your supposedly clean and purified organization? Then you have some explaining to do.
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai, can I get spelling for you?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I.
Hola Chula, thank you so much for clicking on to this video. And if you are new here, well then hi, hello. My name is Kai, and here on my channel I like to share my experience as a person who has left the Jehovah's Witnesses and basically what it's like to grow up in a high control fundamentalist group. So in this video I'm just gonna go over some stupid things that I found on Instagram, like under the hashtag JW. And yeah, I realized that I forgot to film an intro for this video, so I'm off to film another one, but I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for coming back. On Instagram, I searched just hashtag JW. Found quite a few Jurassic World posts, and I wasn't too interested in those. They were cool though. What I also found was a JW meme page, which is not a sentence that I ever thought I would say, but it's real and it's kind of crazy. What I think is so perfect about the concept of Jehovah's Witness memes is that memes do a really good job at explaining a cultural phenomena in a concentrated way. Even though they're meant to be satirical commentary of the larger world or different aspects of our culture, this is a self-report, okay? Whoever is running this page is self-reporting every person in this organization, and I think that it gives a really good window into what they truly believe, how they see the world, and how they see themselves. So we're going to take a look at some of the best or worst or most outlandish memes that I found on this page. And yeah. My book of Bible stories especially is geared toward children. It's a children's book. And the images in this book are horrifying. They're burned into my brain. I can't get them out. As hard as I try, they'll always be in there. It's kind of not necessarily morbid, but bordering the line of that for sure, and definitely just material that I can't see handing to my child. Obviously it's fear-mongering. Obviously it's gibberish. The second one I saw is making a reference to child abuse, which is not great and seems to be rather prevalent in this organization. There's a scripture that they cite, I think it's like Proverbs 24:15, that says something about you would do a disservice to your child to spare the rod. They say that it's meant to mean parental authority, and that it doesn't exclusively mean physical abuse of your child. But it could. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth that this would be a joke to someone when this organization has a long and documented history of mishandling the abuse of children in all forms. I don't know how that could be funny.
I just need my space right now. I'm thinking about changing.
Third one kind of gets on my nerves. Are these Jehovah's Witness men out here wilding? Are they out here in the streets with their slutty tight pants? Yes. The answer is yes. What is very significant about this is that in general, women or sisters are a larger population than single spiritual men, because you can't just marry any man. You can't just marry any man. He has to be baptized, and he has to be making himself available to the congregation. He has to be actively seeking privileges. So that kind of leaves this smaller population into an even smaller one, because the criteria for your marriage mate is pretty strict. So I think, I know that there are some bum-ass men out there who know this, that they are in high demand, so they will collect sisters. I understand that that is something that just happens in our culture. A lot of people have a hard time dating. A lot of people get played. We have the concept of F-boys, F-girls. It happens to everyone, okay? But I think it's kind of hypocritical to be a member of an organization that is so bent on being different from the world around you, and you're willing to admit that these same worldly problems are happening within your supposedly clean and purified organization, then you have some explaining to do. For one, they can't casually date, they can't go out and meet other people in the world because it's not allowed. It's just, you just can't do that. You would get disfellowshipped, you would get exiled, you would get shunned. So these people are in such a, they're in like between a rock and a hard place, basically. And so for you to manipulate that situation is just really bum ass shit, man. I really can't get down with, like, why would you post this? This next one is the only one that made me laugh, because yeah, same.
Well, good luck with that. See ya!
The reason I think this one is so significant is because over and over and over again, the Jehovah's Witnesses will tell you that your worldly family will persecute you or abandon you as soon as you start coming into the truth. And that's really manipulative too. And I think almost they like kind of want you to isolate yourself from anyone and everyone who doesn't 110 support your endeavor to become a Jehovah's Witness and also want to join you. Every day someone says that they're not a cult, and I just have to say how. It makes me sad because I can't imagine being close to someone and seeing them get involved in something that I believe is going to hurt them, and the more I try to express that to them, it just makes them go further away from me. Like, that's terrible. You're tearing people apart from their loved ones. Disgusting. We are now making fun of neurodivergent people. Love it. I have anecdotal experience sort of with this. There was a brother in one of the congregations that we attended who had his own way of seeing things, and he often shared his own opinions and his own perspectives, which I think is totally fine. He would do research using different translations of the Bible and like still find a way to tie that into what they were talking about, and it just seemed really cool to me that he would go out of his way to try to learn more about God, and it was obvious that it meant a lot to him, and I think that that was really genuine. But the greater opinion of this man was that he was kind of dangerous and that he shouldn't be trusted. Like, they just side-eyed him for doing more research, for looking beyond the literature that he was given and the Bible translation that he was given and trying to come to his own conclusion about his faith. Something that they want to tell you to do all the time. But you're wrong if it's not this specific conclusion. It's not okay unless it's what they tell you that you can believe. Also, the fact that you would just make fun of someone for being different when you're in a religion that says Jehovah loves you no matter what, he loves all kinds of people. Like I said, this is a self-report. So when somebody gets called into the back room, it means that they are meeting with the elders, and usually that's a bad thing. Sometimes it's an okay thing and they're telling you that you can do more free labor for the church. Most of the time it's a bad thing. You did something wrong, they found out, and now you have to prove that you're sorry or something, because there's no proving that you didn't do it. They already assume that you're guilty no matter what you say, so you just have to be repentant. To make a joke about it means that you acknowledge the seriousness of the matter, but you don't care. You don't care that this religion ruins people's lives and separates them from their family and gives them trauma, and you just don't care. Just say you don't care. got me really thinking that I missed something huge. Like, I don't know how, because I try to stay as up to date as I can, but this really got to me. Like, where was I when this happened? Do Jehovah's Witnesses believe in polygamy now? Like, what is going on? Because I see multiple references throughout this page to Solomon, which, if you're not familiar with the Bible, Solomon was a king who had like 400 wives and 100 concubines. I don't know why. God said it was the right thing to do, so that's why he did it. Really confusing to me, because my understanding is that currently men and women can only have one spouse, but I think maybe some of them believe that once they get to the new system or the paradise, that they'll be able to take multiple wives. What? That's true. That's wild to me. Not that there's anything wrong with like polyamory or anything, but like this religion has flip-flopped on polygamy so many times. They've said that it was okay because God said it was okay, and then they said that he didn't advocate for it, and then they said it was okay like if you were grandfathered in before they made it against, what they believe. If you already had multiple wives by the time that rule came in, you got to keep them. It does make sense to me. It does make sense to me because they think that billions of people all over the world who don't know Jehovah are gonna die. So how would they repopulate the earth unless they took on multiple wives and then they all of their children just had children with each other, like how they did in the Bible? The logistics on that are just, messy.
For kids, summer means playing on the beach, splashing around and having fun. But for me, summer means bathing suits and girls to wear them. Now bikini season's over and I'll have to wait another year to meet a girl.
I don't like this one. Jehovah's Witness men and women are so sexually repressed, and this organization routinely gives sermon after sermon about how you need to abstain, you need to be clean, and they even have rules for how you can have sex in your marriage. Like, literally, you could be legit dead-ass married, and this organization can still tell you what you can and cannot do in the privacy of your own home. That's disturbing. So, to make fun of, like, somebody's obvious symptom of being repressed their whole fucking life is gross. But those brothers usually end up leaving, and then they end up in my DMs, and it's awkward. But I set them on the right path. I always do. This is like a well-known thing among members, is that if you find out that someone did something they weren't supposed to do, it's your responsibility to go to them and tell them that you know what they did last summer, and that if they don't go to the elders, you're gonna go to the elders. Basically conscripting everyone to be mandatory reporters for each other. It's pretty disgusting, because who can you trust? Like, when the stakes are as high as everyone might literally shun you, that's kind of like a lot of pressure. And that's actually how I got. Somebody found my Instagram page and they reported it, and I don't hold any ill will to that person for changing the whole course of my life. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Jehovah's Witnesses kind of frown upon higher education, but I didn't necessarily know that some of them felt some kind of way about seeking mental health help. Every day, this organization comes a little bit closer to being Scientology, and they are very unaware of this. Yeah, some people probably think that you should get all of your help, or you should heal yourself using God's word and the publications from the Watchtower. If you're somehow a Jehovah's Witness who is watching this video and you are suffering with a mental illness, please go to therapy. Please find help, because you can do something about that. You can do something actually beneficial for yourself about that. You don't have to live like that, I promise you. I saved the two worst ones for last. This one is making fun of just how many billions of people are gonna die in Armageddon. And their leaders have often expounded upon what pleasure that should bring them and every single Jehovah's Witness to know that someday all these wicked, whirly people, the scum of the earth, will die in a fiery blaze of Armageddon during the Great Tribulation. But come join our cult. Come join our organization. We're the most loving people on the planet. You're never going to find anyone as loving as us. Yikes. As much as this organization will say that they don't practice shunning, they think shunning is dehumanizing, what they do is a loving discipline from Jehovah, and who are we to interfere with Jehovah's discipline? And it's going to push them to come back to the organization and to Jehovah's loving arms. But people only come back because they're being mentally tortured. They're being mentally and emotionally tortured. If they're a kid and they're living in their parents' home, sometimes their parents literally won't even acknowledge them in their home. I've heard stories of people who were made to sit in their room all day long. They went to school and then they went right back up to their room, and they were fed in their room and they were never allowed to leave until it was time to go to meeting. That kind of abuse pushes people to the edge, and then they do something that they can't undo. And there's blood on the organization's hands because people legitimately die. They literally can't handle it, and they die. And to make a joke about that is fucked up. It's obvious that you're aware of the horrible things that are happening in your religion, and you don't care. You don't care so much that you're able to laugh about it. Thousands of people like these pictures, thousands of people following this page. Abhorrent. You should be ashamed of yourselves to make light of such horrible injustices against humanity. But what more do you expect, I guess? That was just my thought, just my opinion. Definitely just my opinion. And that was just my video. So if you like this video, then you can leave it a like. And if you like me, then you can subscribe to this channel where I will be talking about whatever I want, whenever I want, because this is my channel and that's what we do here, baby. So subscribe. And as always, chulas, I hope that you are having a beautiful, wonderful, amazing rest of your day. Bye.